President-elect Joe Biden selects his chief of staff, even as the presidential transition remains stalled.
You're about to meet a 13-year-old from Girard, Kansas, who spent his Veterans Day honoring our four state heroes with a musical tribute. That's coming up.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
President Trump emerged from the White House today, but did not speak publicly. Mr. Trump still hasn't conceded to President-elect Joe Biden while his lawyers pursue their claims of widespread voter fraud. Natalie Brand reports from Wilmington, Delaware.
President-elect Joe Biden tonight announced longtime advisor Ron Klain as his chief of staff. Klain served as Biden's former chief of staff at the start of his vice presidency and as Ebola czar in the Obama administration. Earlier, Biden traveled to Pennsylvania to honor veterans at Philadelphia's Korean War Memorial. President Trump also paid tribute on this Veterans Day, laying a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. It was the president's first public appearance since Biden was projected winner. Mr. Trump has yet to concede or take questions, but today the president attacked Philadelphia's Republican city commissioner on Twitter, accusing him of ignoring corruption. Al Schmidt says election workers there are now under police protection.
So that nothing disrupts, nothing slows down or gets in the way of us certifying this election.
In Georgia, the Secretary of State said all ballots would be recounted by hand. President-elect Biden leads by a narrow margin there.
It will be a heavy lift, but we will work with the counties to get this done in time for our state certification.
Georgia has emerged as key to controlling the U.S. Senate. Its 2 seats will be determined by runoff elections in January.
It's all on the line. All eyes in this country are on Georgia. We are going to save the country.
This is literally, the showdown of all showdowns in terms of politics and what it means.
On Wednesday, GOP incumbents were projected as winners of the Senate races in North Carolina and Alaska, meaning the Georgia Senate races will determine balance of power in the upper chamber. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Georgia officials are aiming to complete that hand recount by November 20th. That's the state's deadline for certifying the election results. Oklahoma Senator James Lankford told a Tulsa radio station that if Joe Biden doesn't have access to intelligence briefings by Friday, Lankford will get involved. Nick Kelly joins us now with the first look at the weather. Kind of chilly out there at the moment.
Still made for a pretty good Veterans Day overall, Dal. Granted, any improvement in temperatures is better after we started cold at 30 degrees this morning. Not quite the mild day we were expecting, but highs from 57. Still a good 27-degree jump from our cold start this morning. Some cloud covers trying to work in from south central Kansas. That's about the worst that our sky conditions will get as we begin the late night hours. Still keeping an eye on a few systems, though, out west. I don't want to change our weather up over the next few days and certainly by this weekend. In the short term, though, we're still quiet across the area, turning cold, with most of us in the upper 30s to lower 40s now. However, a southeast breeze will keep temperatures at least a little bit warmer than where we were this morning. We'll still be cold with middle to upper 30s for low overnight lows. Then bouncing back into the 60s tomorrow. There could be a random shower for tomorrow afternoon, but better rain chances are still on the way down. We'll break all that down in the forecast here in a bit.
See you then. On this Veterans Day, 4 staters have been honoring past and present service members in a wide variety of ways. KOIM's Mike Mahoney introduces us to a 13-year-old from Girard who honored heroes with a set of bagpipes.
"13-year-old Orrin Weiss spent his Veterans Day in multiple southeast Kansas cemeteries doing the same thing, honoring our four-state heroes with his rendition of Amazing Grace and taps.
It makes me feel very proud, and I would encourage people to do something similar if they can.
This young bagpipe player from Girard already has 3 years of experience, and he's also got a very proud grandmother who took him on his Veterans Day tour.
He's not that familiar with what the military does other than what he hears, and he's been very open to anything he can to honor the veterans.
And while his performances were for all veterans, Orrin did find time during one of his cemetery stops to honor his veteran great-grandfather, who's buried at the Garden of Memories Cemetery in Pittsburgh. After that, it was off to the PSU Veterans Memorial, and then back to Girard for one last set of performances, but not before giving KOAM viewers some parting advice.
If you have a veteran that you live just nearby, that lives nearby, I would just go and I would say thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you've done for me and all of our neighbors, and thank you just for everything.
In Crawford County, Kansas, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
This was Orrin's second year honoring fallen veterans with his bagpipes. He played Amazing Grace and taps at cemeteries in Arcadia, Mulberry, Pittsburgh, and Girard. Pittsburgh State University today held a virtual Veterans Day ceremony. The fact that it was virtual was not the only difference this year. The ceremony included 4 veterans who shared their experience in a documentary. Each veteran served at a different time in our nation's history, spanning back to World War II. The Veterans Day ceremony is typically a time to educate local 6th graders on what the day is all about. This year, packets were sent to teachers with discussion points so they could still discuss the history with their students. World War II veteran Louis Siketa was honored to be included in the ceremony.
Very nice. It goes to show you that somebody's thinking about you.
The virtual experience included the PSU ROTC Color Guard, PSU Choir, new pavers, and a message from the Pitt State President, Steve Scott. The Miami School District honored area veterans today with a drive-through meal. The school normally hosts a Veterans Assembly, but due to the pandemic, they changed things up this year. Students gave veterans and active duty military personnel boxed lunches and sincere thank yous. The school has also posted a video featuring students honoring service. Kids at the Harry S. Truman Elementary School in Webb City had a Veterans Day parade, but they weren't riding in the parade. No, the students lined the school's parking lot holding signs and banners. Then local veterans drove through the parking lot. It was a similar sight in Pittsburgh. St. Mary's Elementary students lined the school and greeted area veterans who drove around in a parade. Around 20 cars participated. Missouri State Treasurer is encouraging Missourians to search the unclaimed property database for unclaimed military medals and insignia. The Treasurer's office says it currently holds 233 military medals and insignia, including 5 Purple Hearts, 4 Bronze Stars, and 90 other service medals. They say these come from safe deposit boxes at banks. The banks turn them over to the Treasurer's office if they haven't been able to contact the owner for 5 years. You can find a full list of medals, names, and last known addresses through a link on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. A doctor at Freeman Health System Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is being recognized for his military service. Dr. Adam Kessler served in the Army for 11 years. During his service, he worked as a paratrooper and physician's assistant. After serving in the Army, he went on to earn his medical degree. Dr. Kessler says his time in the military prepared him for life in the medical field.
It's crazy, but I think it did help me in the fact I know quickly how to triage people, know what I need right away. So, in residency, trying to teach that to younger residents is hard to do because they get flustered very quickly.
Dr. Kessler joined Freeman in August as an orthopedic traumatologist. Kansas City, Missouri's National World War I Museum today celebrated Veterans Day with a special legacy jump. It featured an all-veteran parachute team with a veteran from each war from World War II through the Afghanistan and Iraq wars. They landed on the iconic lawn of the Liberty Memorial. The oldest veteran on that jump team was 96-year-old World War II vet Peter Bilskis. Former Navy SEAL and Purple Heart recipient Ryan Birdman Parrott led the team. The museum is also offering free admission to veterans and active duty military this week. Still ahead, details of an American disabilities complaint filed against Freeman Health System. And Missouri Southern announces plans to move classes back online. A Pittsburgh man says his daughter was asked to leave Freeman Hospital in Joplin because she had a service dog. Bob McLaughlin says he went into Freeman for surgery in August of this year. His daughter, Shannon, traveled to Joplin from Idaho to help him because she holds his medical power of attorney. She also has a service dog to help her with a disability. McLaughlin says after the surgery, he was moved up to a room in the tower at Freeman. He says his daughter went up to see him and was told she couldn't have her service dog with her on that floor. Now both of them have filed a complaint with the ADA.
The lady comes out, she goes, actually, so you're not allowed up here? This floor is off limits to animals. And I said, okay, well, my dog is a working service dog. She's a medical alert dog. I am disabled according to the ADA.
We reached out to Freeman Hospital, which provided us with this statement saying, quote, Freeman Health System complies with the Americans with Disabilities Act and recognizes the valuable role service animals play in the lives of our patients and visitors. Freeman takes any concern or complaint regarding noncompliance with the ADA very seriously and is currently investigating this complaint. The Joplin Health Department is reporting 6 more COVID-19 deaths. 5 of the patients were residents in long-term care facilities. Those include 2 men aged 90 and 94 and 3 women aged 73, 96, and 98. The 6th patient was a 90-year-old man. This brings the city total death count to 48 deaths. To get the latest COVID statistics from other areas of the 4 states, click on the link at the top of our website, KOIMnewsnow.com. Missouri Southern announces it'll move back to online-only classes. That starts after the Thanksgiving break. There are some exceptions for clinical and field-based learning. MSSU says that if conditions allow, the university will return to face-to-face learning for the spring term. Pittsburgh State announced earlier that it will also be returning to online learning after the Thanksgiving break. A little bit later on KOIM News at 10, Santa's Workshop sets up a temporary home on the PSU campus.
But mild air is going to return for Thursday, but when's our next chance for rain? We'll break that down up next. It was nice that our cold front the other day gave us a chance for some rain and thunderstorms so we can continue to catch up on rainfall. On the other hand, though, for our Veterans Day, it was nice to see the skies drier, brighter, and certainly about as blue as they could be, not just from indigo sky across Seneca, Missouri, and especially outside the city limits here, but all across the area. Despite the sunshine, though, it was a cold front that worked through yesterday has certainly lived up to its name. It took us from mild temperatures Tuesday morning, 70 at 9 a.m., dropping us back into the 40s for the afternoon, 30 this morning, cold start no matter where you were. And even though we didn't get as quite as mild as we wanted to today, still a good rebound, pushing into the middle of the upper 50s for afternoon highs today. We have seen temperatures cool down ever since we got past sunset, but we're still quiet in Joplin. Cool for sure, though. 44 degrees, feels like 40 with an east breeze at about 8 miles per hour. The rest of the Joplin Metro has us at 43 in Pittsburgh, mid-40s in CJ, Galena, Baxter Springs at 46, 44s for Carthage, Neosho, and over into Seneca. And the rest of the region, we actually have a few cold spots already. 36 in Iola, 39 in Fort Scott. Everyone else trying to hold on to lower to middle 40s. However, even though it's going to be cold once again, the wind is going to help us out. Even though it's not a strong wind, we had an easterly wind at 5 to 10 throughout the day. It's going to turn more southeasterly as we go throughout the course of the night. And again, even though it's a light breeze, it's going to do the job to keep us at least a little bit warmer. Still cold, though, dropping back into the upper 30s around Joplin before we bounce back into mild territory for our Thursday afternoon. A little cloud cover is trying to work in from central and southern parts of Kansas. Not much else with it, though, so we'll just get this to work on through. In general, high pressure is keeping us quiet and dry throughout the course of the night. But to the north, we have our next cold front ready to quickly swing by tomorrow and an upper wave across the Canadian border. Those two systems could give us a random shower tomorrow, but it's this upper low just offshore of California. Once it comes into play, it'll give us better rain chances by the time the weekend gets going. Subtle cloud cover working through now. We'll pass on through. Then we'll be mostly clear for the rest of the night, dropping us back into the upper 30s. Then we're looking pretty okay for much of the day tomorrow, but as these two systems come on by tomorrow, partly sunny skies by the afternoon and just the slimmest chance for a random shower. Otherwise, highs 38 in the morning, 60 by noon. Afternoon highs around 63. Want to quickly take you to Thursday night and Friday morning. Mostly clear, turning cold, but that next wave brings in a lot of cloud cover for Friday. We're dry for much of the day Friday, but this wave will give us better rain and thunderstorm chances for Friday night and going into Saturday before we start to dry things out by early next week. And as far as the weekend rain chances go for Friday into Saturday, maybe another ½ an inch to an inch of rain headed our way, so we'll certainly take that before we start to look at a mainly dry week ahead of us as we go into next week, that is. Let's go 63 tomorrow, 54 Friday, mid-60s Saturday, mid-50s Sunday and Monday, and then we're back into the 60s for Tuesday and next week, Dow.
These colder temperatures are easy to deal with as long as we see occasional sun popping out during the day.
We'll certainly work with that.
Thanks, Nick. Pitt State students are trying to make sure every child has a gift on Christmas. Students in the Society of Architectural Woodworkers today made more than 150 wooden toy trucks. Those trucks will be donated to the Toys for Tots campaign and given to families in need for Christmas.
I ask about as we start the year, what are we going to do this year for Toys for Tots? What's our idea? And so some of the students have really, taken a lot of initiative to do this. So it is a sense of pride for me as an instructor to see the passion they're putting into it.
Toys for Tots is a national program. In Pittsburgh, it's run through the Salvation Army Distribution Network. Still ahead, it's National Signing Day. We're going to hear from local athletes signing on to play at the next level, including 2 lifelong friends signing on to play volleyball at separate universities.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas have a unique opportunity this weekend. Pitt State will face Stephen F. Austin on Saturday, their first ever meeting with the Division I FCS school. Now, the Pitt State defense took a big step forward last week against Missouri Western. They allowed just 7 points after giving up 31 against Nebraska Kearney. Now on offense, they were also a little more balanced. Either way, on the ground or through the air, they've been pretty good on that side, racking up more than 800 total yards the first 2 games combined.
When we're not doing so hot passing, we can run the ball efficiently and vice versa. I just feel like at any point we can throw the ball downfield if we wanted to, if we needed to, and make a play because we have that talent. We have the coach to put the plays into effect, and I really feel like if we need to run the ball, we can do the same thing.
Now, this Saturday's game will begin at 4 o'clock, and it will be streaming on ESPN3. Well, today is National Signing Day for high school student athletes. 2 Carl Junction volleyball players signed today to continue their careers in college. Jillian Kennedy signed today to join the Missouri Southern volleyball program. Salma Lewis is going to Springfield to play at Drury. Lewis is Carl Junction's all-time leader in kills with more than 1,200 in her time at CJ. And when these two head off next year, it'll be their first time not playing together since they were in 5th grade.
I think it'll definitely be really weird, but I think that we're going to do a good job staying in touch with each other, and we're both really supportive of each other, so I think that we're excited to see each other move on with our lives and just start a new chapter.
She's been such a great teammate all these years, and I'm super proud of her, and I'm excited to watch her play as well.
They've helped develop the culture that we really wanted in our program, and it's been one that's been developing for about 5 years now, and the last couple of years have really seen a big swing in that, and they've been a big contributor to that.
Missouri Southern women's golf picks up a good one today. McDonald County High School senior Lily Allman signs this afternoon to join the Lions program. Allman is a 3-time state qualifier in her time with the Mustangs, including a 3rd-place finish in the Class 3 state tournament last month.
Being close to home was definitely key for me, but they just welcomed me in like family, and I think that just caught me, just right off the bat that I just wanted to be a part of something like that, and they have a really good teacher education program, and I plan to major in education.
In Neosho this afternoon, 2 more student athletes signed to continue their respective careers in college. Abby Jarvis will continue her volleyball career at Cotty College. Caden Alk is heading to the University of Arkansas at Little Rock to continue to wrestle. Alk is a 3-time individual state champion for the Wildcats. He's aiming for number 4 this winter.
I mean, I wouldn't have those titles without hard work, so that's what I'm just going to take down to Little Rock with me, is just continue to work hard and continue to try and chase some excellence.
At the college level, I want to see how far I can push myself with volleyball and academics both. I think having that opportunity will be really good for me for growth as a person.
That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran, Petty Officer 3rd Class Alvin Keller. The Joplin native served in the U.S. Navy, and we are proud to salute Petty Officer 3rd Class Alvin Keller. He's tonight's 4-state hero. We take pride in honoring a veteran, not just on Veterans Day, but every single day of the year, every newscast on KOAM. We have thousands of these veterans in our database, and we're always looking for more. If you know of a veteran of the past or currently serving service member, please let us know about that person. Just go to our website. It's KOAMnewsnow.com. If you think this year has been one big dumpster fire, you're not alone. And an LA man is looking to profit off that pain. He started selling these dumpster fire toys and Christmas tree ornaments on Etsy. When life hands you lemons, make lemonade, they say. Amir Fakarian's 3D printing company has been struggling during the pandemic, so he decided to lean in. Every piece comes with a little note. It reads, quote, "I thought this would be the best way to commemorate 2020. Hopefully it will bring you happiness and laughter."
Yeah, some say there may not be a better way to represent this year than that.
Yeah, and some say they would just soon forget this year,
Yeah.
but that is a nice reminder for sure.
Well, at least we can all agree on warmer temperatures finally working back into the 60s tomorrow. Rain chances picking up Friday, Saturday. We'll just bounce between chilly and mild temperatures for the next several days now.
Thanks, Nick, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.